Hey everybody, this is Black Gray White, the loser with a dream, and we are in the first couple of days of the second season of Regulation MB and Pokemon Champions. Yes, I got my hair done, but enough about that. Today we're just going to be doing a little bit of review, looking over some of the matches from this past season, and just kind of looking at my progress overall. You can see the next season already started. Let me see if I can see my progress here. And yeah, this was actually a really big shock for me. This was a huge jump compared to the last one, and I'm going to take a screenshot of this. And looking at last season in comparison, I have it in my album here. And yeah, last season making it to rank 4 in Master Ball with just under 100,000, and now less than 30,000. I mean, it's huge for me. It's really something to be proud of, but I'm honestly in denial just a little bit. I'll admit that this team featured here, it was a lot more difficult to use compared to the Contrary Mega Staraptor team. But yeah, I think we might get into some of the matches that took place. I would love the opportunity to look over all of them, but unfortunately, I want to be respectful of your time, so I think for now, just looking over one match from every video that I streamed so far. Let me see. Battle data. Oh, not right now. But anyways, already got... Yeah, let me pull that up. So to start, what have we got? We'll start off with the first one. I think I remember vividly that this one, leading with Azumarill with Belly Drum, and personally, I've never battled against that. I feel like experience with certain teams or tech can definitely affect how the battle plays out, and so in that, I'd never experienced a battle with Belly Drum Azumarill. I didn't know what to expect, and also wasn't really taking into consideration its moveset, because forgetting that it had Aqua Jet, they can really outvalue me very quickly. But let's see. Looking at this match, what might I expect them to lead? I definitely expect them to lead Azumarill. So maybe I could have Basculation as a defensive pivot, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, sure, I could Tailwind a lot of things, but... like, looking at a lot of these, Staraptor, Gholdengo, Garchomp, Typhlosion especially, there isn't really much in here that can take a hit from an Aqua Jet. And then even if it's not Aqua Jet, then I can still get Flare Rocked at any time, so... this is really hard. Yeah, Typhlosion isn't the way to go. What did I lead in this match? I ended up leading Wind Staraptor, which kind of makes sense, but bringing Typhlosion just... in my opinion, it just does not work here, because... I don't know, I could see this maybe being useful for the Aegis Slash, but at the same time, they have Pressure with Shadow Sneak. I don't know, this is a hard one. This is a really hard one. I don't... Well, actually, yeah, I think the first turn, maybe... it would have made sense to go all in, like, maybe... Make It Rain, Brave Bird, the Azumarill on the first turn. Well... actually, no, Make It Rain and Last Respects, maybe. I mean, sure, that would... well, actually, no. If they don't Mega Evolve the Kangaskhan, they could still definitely fake me out, but... at the very least, moving forward in the second turn, Azumarill can only threaten a knockout onto one and just hopefully do some damage. If I had to take a guess, guessing that in the hypothetical situation where I led with Basque Legion and Gholdengo, I'd have to guess they'd probably Aqua Jet the Gholdengo slot. But in that case, maybe if I had Garchomp in the back, I could swap the Gholdengo for a Garchomp and then just hopefully finish it off with last respects. But hey, this is just hypothetical. I don't know what my opponent would be thinking in that situation. I don't know for sure how it would play out, but definitely go in more aggressive. Going in a little further. I mean, sure, I have Charm Pressure, but that's just not getting that's just not getting the momentum that I need to get. I think my mistake was just playing too passively. I should have definitely been a lot more aggressive, specifically into the Azumarill. The King is going to support. But yeah, I guess moving forward, I know a little bit better to make a point of maybe going in more aggressively on the Azumarill, especially since it's down to like 75% of its HP after Belly Drum, supposing they had Citrus Berry, but that's all I'm gonna say about that. Mega Venusaur. I found that I've had a lot of trouble with Mega Venusaur. With its ability Thick Fat, I've just kind of, well, obviously, first and foremost, it pretty much loses its weakness to Fire and Ice. So let's see. I don't really... Yeah. Actually, I do have a way to hitting it. I definitely want to bring the Staraptor. First turn, I can definitely see them protecting the Venusaur and maybe trying to put it to sleep with a Milotic. So... Yeah, I definitely want to try and get that KO on the Milotic as soon as possible. With, maybe Close Combat, Charm, like Whimsicott and Staraptor lead. Charm to the Staraptor, Close Combat the Milotic. See if I can maybe get the KO. If they put me to sleep, I might be okay with that because I've boosted my defenses a little bit. I can take a lot more hits and not having to worry about the either slot that much. There is the possibility of a burn from if the Milotic has Scald, but yeah, I like the Whims Staraptor lead. And for the back, I can very much see this being a stand team. Maybe an endgame Basque Legion, and the Garchomp. I think maybe Gholdengo could work too, but... Well, no, I don't want to bring Gholdengo into that Excadrill if they have Sandrush, so yeah, Garchomp it is. But yeah, let's see, what did I lead in this specific matchup in this case? Move forward. Man, I had a really hard time with Team Preview. So I went Basque Legion Typhlosion. Yeah, that... I don't know what I was thinking with that lead. Honestly... Yeah, I can tell it's either Mega Tyranitar or Mega Venusaur, Yeah, Typhlosion really isn't doing that much. It's not really bringing that much in this match. I really don't know what I was thinking bringing it. And the Basque Legion is under threat by that Venusaur too, so yeah, really bad lead. And of course, I've already said this, but Gholdengo, I see the most potential for Make It Rain, but then, like, I don't want to be stuck with -2 on the board. And having the Excadrill / Rotom and everything else. And not to mention the Venusaur with potential Earth Power, it's just, like, pretty much a sitting duck, but... Yeah, not the best picks. And you can see here... Yeah, the Typhlosion already in a very awkward position and honestly, so is the Vascular Legion, because given that this is my lead and I don't have any mons knocked out, Last Respect isn't really threatening that much. Regardless of what move I pick on the Typhlosion, I'm not really getting any offensive pressure. My opponent has nothing to worry about. Let's see. Moving on, I think this, I don't know. Was this one of my first experience with Mega Swampert, or at least on the opposing side? Hard to say. Yeah. But in any case... This is a little bit tricky because if I would like to get as much of this skin as I can, I definitely have to apply Tailwind. I can't be careless with that because with Swift Swim, they can easily outpace me. And Mega Floette is actually pretty speedy on its own. So that's something I don't want to take lightly. I mean, Staraptor isn't bad. Although, if they bring up a Floette alongside another Pokemon, like, say, Archaludon, it just becomes a guessing game. I think, wasn't that something that I ran into in this match where I was like, well, first let me see what I brought. If I had to play this again, not knowing what I brought this time, let's see, what would I bring? Actually, Whimsicott Dingo lead? I don't think that's bad. Yeah, it's good into a lot of this. And then maybe the Staraptor in the back. Yeah, maybe an endgame Basket Legion to take advantage of the rain. I would assume that they bring the Pelipper if they're bringing either the Swampert or the Archaludon. But what did I bring in this match? Sorry about the lag. Whimsicott Dingo, okay. Oh, that's exactly what I picked. Alright, then... Let's see, what happened? In the first turn... Yeah, we've got Floette and... Sinistcha. I think if I were to play this again, I'd try to make a goal of getting rid of that Sinistcha right away. I'm not really super worried about the Floette. It's definitely not gonna, I would assume that it's not gonna get KO, but there is the possibility of, going for a Calm Mind, which I don't love. But I could counter that with Fake Tears, so I think, yeah. I think it would make it a goal to maybe Fake Tears and then Shadow Ball the Sinistcha. Okay, they Mega Evolve right away, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. And what did I do? I'm gonna turn off the closed captioning. Oh, I went for Make It Rain? Oh, goodness. Okay, I get the KO, but I don't love the fact that now I'm on the board with -2. Yeah, I feel like it would have been better to go for Shadow Ball. Not, oh my goodness. Not do that to myself. I need to also make a note of playing a lot more carefully with Gholdengo moving forward. I think the Life Orb really helps to compensate for the -2 attack drop instead of the 1. And with Fake Tears pressure, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think if I had played differently and gone Shadow Ball instead, well, now they have Wide Guard pressure, that's the thing. But I'm still not super worried about the threat of an attack here, specifically from a Floette. Yeah, the Pelipper is a different story. In this position, I can definitely see a Hurricane coming out. Okay. In a scenario where I'd gone Shadow Ball instead of Make It Rain, I would Moonblast and Power Gem into the Pelipper slot. Again, because I still don't need to worry that much about an incoming attack from a Floette, and it hasn't gone for a Calm Mind. And knowing Pelipper since it's probably sashed, that's why I want to double into it. What did I do here? Yeah, I feel like that was unnecessary. It would have been better to just double up into it, because I definitely know, yeah. You know that it's sash, and yeah, if I had done that in this game, I probably would not have... I don't know, what happens this turn? Yeah, I probably would have gotten the KO, I would not have procced the Citrus. Would not have taken unnecessary damage. And let's say in the scenario where I did knock out this... Let's say I did knock out the Pelipper. Then I could just go Fake Tears and Shadow Ball the Archaludon. There's a good chance, like with no stat boost or anything, it wouldn't get the KO on either one of these. And I could threaten Tailwind. Well, even if it survives the Shadow Ball, I could definitely go Tailwind and Make It Rain the following turn. I think. Well, actually, if they had knocked out, say, the Gholdengo, I could just bring in the Staraptor next turn. Close combat the Archaludon. That way we have a better chance of surviving anything that the Floette can throw at us, and in the following turn just KO the Floette. But yeah, I think that was just really reckless of me to go Make It Rain right away the first turn. And I have to remember moving forward to be more conservative with Make It Rains when using Gholdengo, just because of that nerf, and that just puts you in a really awkward spot where I'm just stuck on the board with a -2 Gholdengo, but... Alright, let's try some matches with the Mega Swampert team. I think, honestly, this was a lot more difficult of a team to use. Definitely could use some tweaking. There were a lot of things I found frustrating about this. I'd say the major things were just that Pelipper and Archaludon get outpaced by a lot of mons. Not having dynamic speed control like say this team right here. What else? My main attacker being a water type, but very fast, but with the right amount of speed tech, it can get outvalued. Not to mention, a lot of teams have started to prepare for the potential Mega Swampert, and as you've seen in some of my videos, a lot of mons come with grass attacks, including an Energy Ball, Glimmora on a couple of occasions. So let's see. I'm guessing this is Mega Blaziken. If I were to play this again, how would I play it? Well, I think the Farigiraf really stands out to me first and foremost. So I think I want to get rid of it. at the same time, I wouldn't want to proc any citrus if I can help it. Yeah, I like leading with Pelipper Swampert. It also has pressure into the Hydreigon if they decide to bring it. Yeah, I wonder, was this the one where the Whimsicott had Energy Ball? Okay, and in the back... Another thing that I don't love is just like, in a lot of cases, my endgame Pokemon are pretty predictable. In a lot of cases, you're probably gonna bring Arch. What else, though? The other thing is that I need Swampert for a lot of stuff. Is there another way? Is there a different maybe a different way I could have led? I know this arena has low kick, but I don't know if that's enough. A lot of Hydreigons carry Heat Wave. Well, actually, leading Pelipper and Archaludon wouldn't have been bad, even if they did lead the Farigiraf. Because I think these are the two slowest Pokemon on my team, and aside from maybe the Farigiraf, I'm pretty sure those two underspeed a lot of these Pokemon if they were to go Trick Room mode. And even if they don't, yeah, assuming the Hydreigon is Choice Scarf, I feel like the Archaludon in particular could tank a lot of attacks. So yeah, maybe I'd go Archaludon Pelipper mode. Definitely threatened. Yeah, and Metagross doesn't really have a lot of offensive pressure in the Archaludon either, unless, of course, they have Stomping Tantrum, but... and then Swampert in the back. Which leads the question, who would be my last Mon? It's possible to maybe use Raichu as support, but I gotta keep in mind that a lot of its moves without Mega Evolving are gonna miss. I don't really know if Serena works, except maybe for the Bastia Legion. It's under a lot of pressure by the Blaziken. I'm assuming they brought it back. Yeah, Sableye. I just don't really... It's too slow, and I don't really see tanking a lot of attacks from these mons, but... I'd go with Serena, I guess. I don't like it. I really don't like it. But I do have... It is a potential answer to potential endgame Basket Legion. I will say that. So what did I go with in this match? Yeah, Pelipper Swampert lead, but seeing as how this is my Mega, I need to do a better job of making effort to preserve it. Sorry about that. Let me see. There we go. Yeah, I think moving forward, yeah, I'd probably go Pelipper Arch. Specifically because, like, this is hard to know. This was hard to know since, like, I think this is my first set of matches with this team, but definitely gotta make more of a priority to preserve the Swampert. Is this the battle where they Whimsicott goes for Energy Ball? If so, this only proves my point even more. Yeah, I think I would want to... If I were playing this game with this exact lead, I'd probably go Hurricane. Maybe Ice Punch into the Hydreigon. But... skip ahead a little bit. Okay, the Whimsicott protects. Okay, Scarfed. So yeah, they know I have Ice Punch, they're probably gonna pivot. Yeah, and of course I flinch. So then, I think the next turn I would trouble doubling the Whimsicott, yeah. I don't know what I was doing here. If it's okay. I think maybe they were expecting me to maybe knock out the Whimsicott, that way they could get boost for their last respects. Yeah, this is it. This is one of them. Yeah, so I should have just KO'd the Whimsicott. Yeah. It's probably sashed too. Yeah, so I'd say my big misplay was probably not taking the KO on the Whimsicott. I mean, in hindsight, a lot of things are clearer with hindsight, but yeah, I'd say Energy Ball is one of those unexpected things. You see, sometimes you get a little bit of off-meta, like, unexpected moveset, but I think it all came down to just me not respecting the Whimsicott enough. And then the following turn, maybe threatening the KO on the Basket Legion. I think I'd make more of a priority to target the Basket Legion as opposed to something else, just because like I don't want them to get extra last respect boosts. And you saw how much damage we were doing with that. It crashes. Honestly, kind of crazy. Yeah. I'm not really seeing what Sableye brings to this match. Yeah, sure, it's nice to have an extra Rain Dance setter, but maybe it's better to lead with Sableye and Rain Dance, because offensively, especially with a team that makes good with the rain, Sableye's under a lot of pressure here, and it's not Sash either, so I'm pretty sure they could just KO the Sableye with, like, say, a Wave Crash before it could even do anything. Well, let's see. I would probably file playing Basket Legion, but yeah, especially with that Tailwind too. Okay, they last respects. Okay, not enough to KO, but why didn't I just go on the offense that turn? Because the other thing is that was a misplay too, because they could also Encore me. Let's skip ahead. And the last one was Blaziken, of course. I can't burn it, so again, Sableye doesn't have a ton of value here. This would have been better if maybe they went Mega Metagross mode, but yeah, you can just quickly outpace me. I'm too low to, and yeah, it's all just downhill from here. And I lost my Mega, which was a huge plus for them. And all my Mons are now slower than that Blaziken. So yeah, I think I could have done two things better. One, maybe leaving the Swampert in the back, and two, making more priority to knock out that Whimsicott. Swampert me. This match, potential for Mega Frostlass. Trying to make this do this a little quicker. If I had to lead again, who would I lead? I'm worried about either Lopunny or Sneasler as the lead. Both Sneasler and Lopunny have pressure with close combat. They could also lead with Glimmora, which I don't love. So yeah, Pelipper would be good. Pressure for both the Glimmora and the Sneasel. The only downside is, of course, they can KO me with Power Gem. I don't know, maybe Swampert might be better. And then maybe lead Pelipper and Swampert, but then swap out Pelipper for, say, Archaludon. That way, if they go, say, Dire Claw, then it just fails, and if they go Power Gem, I get a free stamina boost. So yeah. Swampert, Pelipper, Archaludon. Archaludon would also be important for the Mega Froslass, potentially. I don't really like my endgame picks. I definitely don't want to bring Serena, so that leaves me with Sableye. But again, a lot of these mons can outpace me before I can get a Foul Play off, which is annoying. But yeah, let's see who I led. I don't think this is a great matchup. And unfortunately, the mons that do the most damage to the opposing side are also very vulnerable to a lot of my opponent's attacks. I don't love this, I really don't. I don't know what leading Sableye does for me here. Is this the lead where they went, Vivian? Let me see. Yeah, that's annoying. That's really annoying. I wish I had Taunt or something. Or I don't know, would it have been okay to not lead with a Rain Setter at all? No, I think I would go with Pelipper, just because, like... Yeah, I think if I let Pelipper and Swampert, I could threaten the KO into the Vivian right away. Assuming it's not Sash. But yeah, the Sleep Powder is probably going to be very annoying. And then on the first turn... Yeah, I mean, it's good for setup, but like... Yeah, this would have been a lot easier if I had just had the Rain set right away. That way I could immediately threaten offensive pressure in both of these mons. Do I get the KO here? Okay, yeah. I mean, sure, they would have put one of my mons to sleep, but I could have immediately burned a sleep turn. And the Glimmora has Energy Ball. Okay. But yeah, that's something I probably should take more into consideration more often. So I think it would be hard to see, but the right lead probably would have been Pelipper or Archaludon, but at the same time, I'm less inclined to do that, just because they can lead with two big close combat users, but it's very hard to see. I think, yeah, they did a good job in conditioning me into the specific lead just so they can take out the Mega right away. That, and also maybe just being afraid to attack the Glimmora as well. A lot of Trick Room tunes here. Let's see. If I had to lead again, how would I play this? Thinking about that last match, if I had gone like Pelipper, if I had gone Pelipper Swampert, I could throw the Hurricane into the Vivian and Wave Crash into Glimmora. Sure, if I had to guess, I'd say the Glimmora was Sash, but I'd at the very least bring it down very low. It's better than getting away with nothing with the... or less with Swampert. gets me a little bit more momentum in the match, but... let's see. I'm going to preserve my Swampert a little bit. Well, actually, do I hate Pelipper Archaludon lead? The only lead that I'm worried about with that would probably be the Garchomp lead. Yeah, it's not bad, but it doesn't cover every potential lead, though. Yeah, I don't love Sableye. Well, yeah, maybe Pelipper Archaludon might be better. It might discourage potential Trick Room mode. Because, yeah, I think most of everything except for the Sylveon outspeeds the Pelipper Archaludon lead. And in the back. Swampert in the back. The only thing I'm majorly worried about? Well, maybe, yeah. Maybe Serena. Yeah, Swampert and Serena in the back. Serena offers good pressure, low kick pressure in the Kingambit, and it stops potential sucker punches, as well as quick attacks for the Serena, and it offers good pressure into, offensive pressure into the Sylveon as well. So who did I pick for this match? Okay. Pelipper, Swampert. Yeah, in hindsight, yeah, I want to start doing a better job of protecting my Mega. It's not always the best play to lead with Swampert. And let me guess, is this another match where somebody unexpected has a Grassmon? Right. Yeah, the Ferrig. So playing this again, yeah, if I had led Pelipper Arch, yeah, maybe go for an Electroshot into the Sylveon and Hurricane into the Sylveon. Well, actually, I don't know. But for this specific scenario, I probably want to KO the Farigiraf, so I could probably just double into it. I can see the Sylveon protecting here, just to avoid taking any damage. Yeah. Did I double into it? Does it have this? Okay, it survives. Hurricane would be the stronger move. Oh, that's annoying. Hard to say if I get the KO now. Okay, I did make the right play. Okay, yeah. This is kind of a weird spot because they could bring in Mega Charizard and just turn off the rain. So I think what I would do in this situation is pivot out the Pelipper, protect the Swampert. For maybe Archaludon, because I know a Hyper Voice is coming out. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, that's what I did. And then, yeah, from here on, it just becomes a mind game of who's going to pivot, when they're going to pivot the weather control back in. That's annoying, but what can I do? Yeah, that's really not great. My Archaludon's going down here. Okay, that was a good play from Numb. I don't think the crit mattered. They probably anticipate that I swap out the Pelipper. So now they can just swap out and protect the Sylveon. Yeah, I think, let's see, if I led... Things would have gone differently if I led Pelipper or Archaludon. I think I would just make a point to get that Electro Shot boost and try and KO the Farigiraf. I don't think that I would have, but even if I hadn't, I have Wide Guard on the Pelipper. That gives me access to free Electro Shots. And I'm slower than the Charizard, putting me in a better position to close out. But, yeah. And I just never got into a really good position where I could take out the Sylveon either, which is dealing out damage after damage after damage, which is annoying. Sorry. Doing this. Sorry about that. If I had to play this again... Yeah, I can see this being a Chlorophyll Venusaur team now. So I'd want to keep my weather control in back. Either that, or lead with Sableye. But if I lead with Sableye, I'm not getting enough as much damage as I could. Like, if I were to lead Pelipper, unfortunately. Or at least bring it in the back. Yeah, I definitely don't want to lead with Swampert at the very least. I don't know if I want to bring it either. But if I am going to lead Archaludon, though, definitely need to get those stat boosts. Sorry if you hear the whirring on my computer. Yeah, this is hard. Serena doesn't work super well in the back either. This is a really hard matchup. Yeah, I think this is probably a Pelipper or Archaludon. Or maybe rather... lead with Swampert, but pivoting it out, and even if they put the Pelipper to sleep or launch a grass attack, it should probably take the attack. Yeah, I probably want to lead with Swampert, Archaludon, swap out the Swampert second turn, bring in the Rain, get the Electrocute boost off. So they're probably gonna go grass attack into the Swampert slot. And I'm gonna need some stat boosts if I want to take out that Venusaur. So... what else? Yeah, Swampert in the back is good into a lot of these, like say Kingambit. I can only see this as being like Mega Blaziken team. The only thing I gotta watch out for is those speed boosts. And yeah, Serena just doesn't work here. I don't really see what the Sableye does to Blaziken or the Kingambit. Or the Grimmsnarl either. Gets KO'd by the Sylveon. I don't like it, but I would probably win the Raichu. Just at best as support, maybe. Maybe I can hope to hit some Zap Cannons, but I wouldn't count on it. I just don't love either Sableye or Serena in the back. But in this match, I went too far. they led with Raichu. I mean, I guess I was a little bit worried about the grass typing too much. But Raichu, it doesn't really give any offensive pressure into like Venusaur as a lead. And it's not really threatening a ton of KOs right off the rip from these two. And it's very easily weak to an Earth Power from either one. And what did they lead? Yeah, right away, Earth Power pressure from this. I could have taken this as an opportunity maybe to swap, because like both these are going to take out pressure, and they don't know from whom. Swap in the rain, get an Electro Shoot boost, Electro Shot boost. But yeah, they both protect this turn. I remember this. And then the next turn, of course, they can swap into Torkoal. Yeah, they were probably expecting me to lead with a Pelipper or something. Or maybe swap in the Pelipper. So yeah, if I had brought the Swampert, I don't know how this would have played out, but yeah, I probably shouldn't. I guess I was afraid to bring the Swampert because of that Venusaur, but this is just going to be another weird weather war kind of battle, just where you gotta pivot out in the right spots, because now, yeah, they outpace me, put me to sleep, and now my Raichu can instantly just be KO'd here. So yeah, I think I'd say the biggest thing is probably just going for a different meta in this match. Not being so afraid of the Venusaur either. I guess it's just gonna take a little bit of clever plays, I suppose. The last one, either a Mega Swampert or Mega Mankey. Yeah, I don't want to lead Swampert. Do not want to lead Swampert. Maybe Sableye might be good in the back. And I could lead the Pelipper Archaludon, that way if they go close combat into the Archaludon slot, it'll whiff if I swap in the Sableye. Go Hurricane in the Sneasler, knock it out. That would put me in a pretty good position. I'd also have potential offensive pressure if they led Pelipper themselves or against the Aerodactyl. If they swap in the Swampert, it doesn't matter if I still get a special attack boost. Let's see. Who did I lead? But yeah, I guess the thing is just not being afraid to go with a specific lead. Just kind of worrying, I guess, being afraid of a specific lead they might bring. But yeah, I don't really see what Pelipper Sableye does for me. I don't think this is a Swampert fight. I mean, Raichu doesn't really do anything into the Swampert, and it does very little in the mid-game, so yeah, maybe it is a Swampert fight, but the key is getting some additional damage off into it. So yeah, provided that I got rid of the Sneasler first, maybe Serena in the back. So yeah, Pelipper, Archaludon, Sableye, and then, well, actually I only have room for one. Sableye and Swampert. I don't know if I love that, but I like it better than regular Raichu. In hindsight, of course. So yeah, they do lead with the Sneasler. Yeah, offensively, this lead doesn't get me much. I don't know what I was thinking here. Because now I'm just already putting myself in a position where either one of these mons can take a huge amount of damage without me getting much done. Sure, I get a Will-O-Wisp off into the Sneasler, but again, it would have been better if I could just at least get some damage off. And the point was never to attack me anyway, so... Yeah, now that I've swapped, showed my Swampert right off the riff. Yeah, now they can just pivot into the Meganium. So Electric Shot Wisp, but they get a +1 boost. And now I'm in a position where I can't get the immediate KO onto this Meganium, so... Or maybe I could have also double protected the first turn. Well, Pelipper doesn't have protect, but... just to see what they do with the Sneasler. But yeah, if there's no way I can get off enough damage in this Meganium in time, I can only choose one target. So, yes, something... I'm bound to lose one or both mons this turn. Without getting really much. And Pelipper's too slow, and Serena can't take out the Sneasler by itself, so... Yeah. I think a lot of this stuff is easier to see in hindsight, of course, but... yeah. Something to think about moving forward into the next regulation. But yeah, it was nice to take a look at this. I hopefully don't make these same mistakes in this upcoming season. I'll start playing some matches tomorrow. But thank you so much for watching and reviewing with me. If you like this kind of content, feel free to leave a subscribe if you're interested in this stuff. If there's anything else that you noticed in any of these matches that you wish that I had done better, please leave a comment. I could take any advice that anybody has to offer, but thank you again for watching. I hope you have a good night, and I'll catch you next time when I start off the next season. Later, losers.